Hi, this video is explaining how to modify a Respironics Simplicity Mask with headgear, size small, to adapt it for a child, because we use these for non-invasive ventilation and find that these are too big for our small child. So what you do is when you get the bag, you open it up and I take the plastic piece off, just unvelcro it. Now I know what size my son wears because I've been making a couple of them today just to keep in stock. It's easier for me to make a couple at once from old masks that we used to use. So starting with the tag, this is the Respironics Simplicity headgear. I'm going to modify it for a small head. And the first thing I do is this is the nose piece. I just fasten it down to this piece because otherwise it just gets tangled. Put the tag.
So it just goes straight up the middle.
Straight up the middle and fasten it on. These sides for my son, I used to, when he was smaller, used to have to cut and modify them. But his head's gotten bigger, so I'm not going to adjust these, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to adjust the bottom ones, and you'll get the idea if you still have a small child. So I'm going to tighten the top two, and in this tightened area, this goes right, this is the band that goes right above the ear. So I can tighten those to the small size, and that still fits him. But you can make these smaller, because if your little guy is too small.
So if he was in this now, his head would be in here. This goes right up, from around the nose right up towards the top of the head. These straps here, come above the ear on each side, and these come kind of below the ear on each side, kind of under the jaw, and then they'll strap back in.
I already have pre-cut some, so I know how much I'm going to cut off. So this is the amount I'm going to cut off, and I just base that by sizing him.
So we've already done that step.
So we've already done that step. So you can size your child or small person. And so I'm just going to take these and snip them at the ends on both sides. Just as a tip, it's good to snip both of them the same length. If you're going to shorten them both the same amount. That way, when you're tightening the straps, they're both even on each side. That's just a little tip that we found.
And again, we've already measured. You definitely want to have measured what size is going to work for your child before you start cutting up the straps.
Point. So then I'm going to just snip this shorter, because this is the length that I want to remove. And then I'm going to put this here.
And right now what you're doing is saving the Velcro piece, right?
Yeah, this is the rough Velcro piece, and I'm just going to pin it back on. Just try to remember that when you're making it, that rough Velcro piece is which side it goes up, so that when you thread it through, it'll stick back to itself. So the rough side of the Velcro, when the tag is down, the rough side of the Velcro goes down. Then I'm going to shorten the other side, just snip it. I leave a little bit off the edge of the Velcro. This is where I can put my sewing machine. You can hand sew them also, it's not a problem, but today I'm going to machine sew them. And then I'm just pinning them so I can it'll stay there for my machine. So that's that. Now if I wanted to, first of all, if the head here was too big, you could do the same thing here. Snip off a piece and sew the two parts back together. Or on the sides, I could snip and make this shorter and then make it tighter. But he's actually growing, so this is good for us.
So essentially for those straps, it's like taking a little piece out and then reattaching the Velcro end back on.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to sew these up with my sewing machine here, or you could hand sew them, just so they're back together. The other thing, this is my son's actual mask that we use on a regular basis, and the other so this would be on the other modification that I'm going to do, but I'll do it maybe in part 2, is I get a piece of elastic. You can get it from a fabric store or Walmart, and I add an extra couple pieces of elastic, one across this way.
Those are the white straps.
The white straps, and then I crisscross them. And the reason I do that is because that prevents this from slipping down. So this would be the back, here's the tag. And this is, the black part is what comes in the package, and then the white straps are the ones that we sew on to increase stability, because if this is slipping and sliding off the head, you're going to end up with more leaks. If you end up with more leaks, you end up with more woken up parents, and we love our sleep. So I'm going to sew these up, and then when I get back to the elastic, I will get back to this. Okay, good luck. Hello. The second step in adapting or modifying the Simplicity Mask for a small person or child is we add these elastic strips. So if you go to the fabric store and you get a piece of elastic, you can cut it into small strips. So this is just a piece of elastic. I have 3 strips, which is what I use for each mask. So if you look on this, this is my model. And essentially, now his ears are a little different than a regular person, but one of the first straps I do is just across the top from side to side. And so what I'll do is put the Simplicity Mask on the person and then lay the straps, the elastic straps down so that you get the sizing, and then you can pin them very carefully in place, and then you can sew them on. So we do one strap across here, and then one strap crisscrossing here and one here, so that it prevents just the slippage of this from side to side when the person's sleeping. So I did already pre-measure this out on my son, and then pinned it and then sewed it together. And here it is on the bear. Bye, thank you, good luck. The last thing that we do to modify the Respironics Simplicity Mask for use during non-invasive ventilation, which is intermittent positive pressure ventilation, is close up this little vent. On the end of the mask, you see there's a little hole. I think that's for people on CPAP or something. I really don't know. But anyway, it just doesn't work for our use. And so what we do is we just take the glue gun and I just squirt it in there. And then I let it dry. And it keeps the air from exiting there. That's my other last step. Thanks. Good luck. Bye.